Ubuntu Incorporated. Hi, this is Elet Nagak here. This is my military advisor, Master Minky. It's been a while since I talked to you all guys. I did a video cast. Here just hanging out in my room, and I thought it was the time to just make a little video to update everyone, to tell you people what's going on, and there are a lot of exciting things going on. Well, first of all, we're going through one of our biggest growth spurts. A lot of new pilots coming in, and this is great. And what's also great is that we have had like nonstop war for a month and a half, and like half of our active population doesn't even know what it's like not to have war, I think. And this is really, really cool because it has brought us closer together. The people are bonding as a team, and we have already pretty organized squads and fleets going around doing stuff on their own. Our losses went down as the wars went, and our efficiency was still pretty good. You know, we're at like 40%, which is normally terrible, but considering that we're fighting experts that were much older than any of our characters, and that like 90% of our losses were basically ganks, we did pretty good. You know, in the actual fights, we kicked butt. So kudos to you guys. You did really well. I'm really impressed by all of you. So we're at the transitionary stage right now. We're going through development, and we're going to be unlocking new aspects of the game because our corporation is growing so fast. One of the exciting things is that we developed a really good system to kick inactive pilots, and we kicked like 50 inactive accounts or something like that. And meanwhile, recruiting new pilots. So the activity in the corpus is really high. We have what 20, 30 people online like every night, and Eurotime is also pretty active. Which is great because this puts us in the position where we can start doing all kinds of cool things, including getting organized PvP fleets, better training, mining fleets, and even incursions. We're gonna start trying them this weekend. More about that later. So yeah, since we have so many new pilots, you guys, if you just joined the corporation, you're still feeling your way around the game, and you're like all super excited about making all this ISK and doing all this stuff. Here's what I'm going to tell you. When you get into a cruiser, all the new guys, pay attention here. This is really important. When you get into a cruiser, chill out for a little bit, because your ability to make ISK will not go up significantly until you unlock level 4 missions, which will take you a while. And the fastest way to get there is actually run level 2 missions a lot just in a cruiser. You don't really even need a battle cruiser because a cruiser works just as good. And you will gain standings from running storyline missions, because when you run level 2 missions you'll get those more often, and it will push you through to that level 4 agent really, really fast. But you basically have like this period of like a little bit of a boring time because you can't really move up to the next income bracket, and doing the same old gets old quickly too. You can try industry, but remember, for industry you'll still need standings for refining, for trade, and things like that. So that's why we recommend people to get to those level 2 missions ASAP and unlock that agent in Ziona, so you can spend time with us and work towards increasing your standings quickly, so that it will open up more gameplay options for you. But this time, when you're in the cruiser line level 2 missions, is the perfect time to get started on your PvP training, which is so important. And if you want to do some research, just go back through our killboard records and like look at the people who died the most and lost the most money during the war, and you will notice two trends. First of all, that those who lost the most money were all preventable, easy losses that were just silly mistakes. Second, that those people who lost those ships were behind on their initiation process and their PvP training. On our website, click on the scholarship link after you log in. Take care of that. There is a statistical dependence on how much money you lose during war and how far down the PvP training path you went. So the more you train, the better it is for you in the long run. It will save you a lot more money, way more money that you can make right now. So if you haven't unlocked level 2 agent yet, unlock it. And if you have unlocked it and you're bored from running level 2 missions, start working on your PvP training. It's super important. Just trust me, it will save you billions of ISK long term, the earlier you started. So for the old pilots that have already done the initiation and stuff like that, okay, we need you guys to help train the new people. We need to push the training. And I know that a lot of you have been doing what I asked you to do, like logging in and asking if anyone needs help. And I think you're doing it wrong, like because everyone tells me, well, I typed into chat, does anybody needs help, and nobody responds. That's not the way to ask help. Nobody will ever respond to that. What you do is take an individual approach. Just select like one pilot in the Ubu chat. See if they're neutral, so they haven't joined our corporation yet. Ask them if they need help with tutorials, or if they want to have some questions about what we do or just the game in general. Just help them out a little bit. Or if they're in the corp, see if their bio is linked to our website. If it's not linked, it means they didn't do introduction step yet. So somebody needs to introduce them. Guess who is going to introduce them? You will. That's right. So you look at their bio, see if it's linked. If it's not linked, you need to introduce them. Second, if it is linked, click on that link and click on the initiation tab and see in which step of the initiation process they are, and just push them just one step up. And it needs to be like an individualistic approach. The problem with those new pilots is not that they don't want to be helped, is that they don't think that they need help. They make the first million and they think they know everything, so that's one of the problems. But also because they're so excited and carried away with the game, they really are missing out very important parts of the game that are just so, and you already know it, are just so important. And it does not just have to do with PvP. Like, for example, they can be working really hard at running those ARC missions, which eventually will get them stuck, and they haven't developed the residual income source for themselves. So they basically wasted a week or a week and a half of time when they could have developed a residual income source through mining or missions, whatever it is, but by unlocking standings. And so if you would have helped them early on, they would have not had that problem. So personally, find them. Just click on their bios and see if you can help them out, advance one step initiation. We need that to go down quickly because we have an large influx of new players, and they're good players and they're excited about the game. So raise their qualifications as pilots. They don't even know that they're not that good at the game, So you will have to kind of work with them and be like, okay, have you tried this? Have you tried this? Maybe Omen is not the best ship for missions. Try Arbitrator. They all think that Omen is the better one than more pilots do. So it takes some personal attention to them, and that will in turn make our corporation grow tighter, grow stronger, and push us to the next level. So this weekend we have such high activity that we're gonna try to run shield incursions. If you don't have a shield ship, that's okay. This is gonna be an experiment. We're just gonna try it this weekend. We need lots of drakes, and if you're gonna have a battleship, that's okay. Torpedoes are not recommended, and cruise missiles are not recommended. So if you're a Caldari pilot, please bring a drake. Otherwise, try to go for guns. And we need to have high resistances, at least 75% across the board, and use resistance rigs. They're screen reinforcers. Core defense, screen reinforcement, anti-EM or whatever. Just look at on the market. Use those rigs to get the resistance up. We will have 2 or 3 logistics pilots, and we'll go and try a couple incursions. It will be fun. We may not make the best efficiency on stuff like that, but it should be better income than level 4 missions, even if we suck, because we'll have a fairly large fleet. But second, it will just give us some things to think about. We'll have. I want to run it with shields. We were thinking armor this whole week, but here's what I decided. Let's just go ahead and stop talking about it, and let's just go ahead and do it, because we can. And then once we start doing it, we can figure out if armor fleet is better, if torpedoes are better or whatever. We can figure it out on the spot just by practicing, by doing it. And because we can adjust, we have logistics pilots in both shields and armor, so we can do that. Yeah, so prep those ships and be ready for some action this weekend. It'll be a fun weekend, and we'll have fleets going. We'll make some good money and have some good fights. And the war targets, obviously don't fight us anymore. So it's like really boring. But if they do show up, we'll have some surprises for them. Just I don't think they'll expect us to show in such numbers or such organization, because in the 1 month that they've been fighting us, we've developed so much. We're a much better corporation than we were a month ago, and it's because of wars, because of other things, but also because of your dedication to our corp. All right, guys, see you this weekend. Shield ships, 75% resists. DPS doesn't matter as much, but Tech 2 heavy missiles are good. All right, see ya.